I represent a district in Houston and area, and at one time had the largest petrochemical complex in the country, and every one of our chemical plants in our district in East Harris County are announcing expansions. And I know on the list that Mr. Celo was one of them, Petrologistics, that took a mothballed chemical plant in our district, and because of the propane coming off the Eagle Ford, and they were serving literally the market in the Houston area, but last year they contacted me and wanted to know what they could do, get a carbon permit, because state's not issuing them in Texas. They have to go to EPA because they wanted to double their capacity and get in the international market. So we're seeing that literally all over the petrochemical complexes from Mississippi River down to Corpus Christi, Texas. So, and let me, I know my ranking member, Mr. Waxman, I know China's expanding on their greener energy production, but they're also, they in India are building 76% of the coal plants in the world. So China's doing everything. They are somewhat free enterprise, but we also know they're a command economy, and so they can do things that we have to deal with, typically with free market or with government assistance on a limited basis. Although some of my plants think the EPA orders them around, but we do know there's an appeals process for that, and in China there may not be that. Some of the questions, Mr. Cordo, are you seeing similar expansion in West Virginia like I'm seeing in East Harris County?
Not to the scale that you're saying, but we are very hopeful. We're working very hard as a state and an industry to attract foreign and domestic investments in the region of Kanawha River Valley. As you know, we have a rich tradition in chemical manufacturing.
Yeah. I noticed, in fact, I got to visit some of the plants, chemical plants along the Ohio River, both in Ohio and in West Virginia. You mentioned that supply response for shale gas has directly created 46,000 jobs in the chemical industry due to expanded chemical production. What's the average salary for those jobs?
I believe we're around $77,000, $78,000 for those jobs, for the chemical operator
must be
jobs.
Nationwide, because I know in my area, our work source talks about the average salary is about $86,000 for those chemical plant jobs and refinery plant jobs, because they're also expanding. What policies are needed to maintain the long-term low-cost energy advantage? Now, I understand that, I have that industrial complex but I also have a lot of service companies who actually continue to work Eagle Ford and all over the country, literally. And but, for example, is the federal government made it difficult to use hydrofracking? What would that mean to some of your businesses?
In terms of hydraulic fracturing, I think the states are best suited to handle the regulation of that activity on the extraction side.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
I know are we close to the time? Mr. Reuter, one last question. You talked about the length of the liquids facility that you're building in Louisiana. You also talked about South Hall currently operating with to estimate are you estimating your greenhouse gas savings associated with blending GTL diesel in U.S. refineries? Has GTL technology ever been used here, and would our refineries have to add or update their equipment to handle it?
No, the refineries would not have to update or change their equipment. They can use it straight as a blend stock, and in fact it would improve the quality of traditional crude-derived diesel by blending in gas to liquids diesel.
Has it ever been used in the United States?
Yes, we have in fact exported diesel to the U.S., and we have also supplied GTL jet fuel to the Department of Defense, who used it for experimental purposes.
Okay. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chairman,
Mr.
for your
Green.
patience.